So I'm just gonna
Is
say
anybody there? Anybody
we are
there?
we are back, but we don't. I don't know what happened there, but the stream just ended, which is strange. Um, but we just started back up again. So let's see how this goes. I just sent a tweet out to everyone, so we'll see if they think we just ended it
Peter
abruptly for no
Ridsdale.
reason. Huh?
Peter Ridsdale, he found out Tom's moonlighting. That's it. He wanted to shut us down.
He was the ex-lead chairman that basically overspent on he basically overspent on the understanding that the money would be made back on the Champions League TV revenue.
Mm.
But that only works if you qualify for the Champions League. So we finished fourth in the season that only the top three got the Champions League.
Yeah.
So the revenue wasn't there, and the banks were like, "Can we have our money, please?" And he was like, "The money's at Bill's house, and it's at Fred's house."
Well, I had the money yesterday. That's funny you say that.
All right. So well,
we got to do Tom's question, haven't we?
Yeah, we haven't gone to Tom's question, so we'll do that. But I'm gonna just see if we get just give these people a little bit of time to join back up with us.
Because it was which country was it that scored the first VAR penalty?
All right, so we're gonna have to say that question again, but just give me a second here. Let's see if we can get. I guess people will join us, but Mr. Tom, yeah, it is your turn. It's Mr. Tom's question. We will. We'll see. Boom, boom, boom. All right, go ahead. Ask your question again, Mr. Tom.
This week's question is: what country were awarded the first penalty by VAR at a World Cup?
Mm-mm.
So so I need to get some background to this because I thought this was the first World Cup to use VAR, but you're saying it was used in Russia as well.
It was.
Right, so crikey, it goes. Wow, I didn't remember Russia that well. So okay, so Russia was the first one then. First World Cup. So who scored the first penalty in Russia? I'm going to go for Costa Rica.
You're incorrect, sir.
Don't know.
Okay.
It's a good question.
The answer is France were awarded a penalty against Australia in 2018 World Cup.
Wow, so it was against Australia then.
Yeah. France also had the first goal disallowed by VAR in 2017 against Spain.
Right.
But also, as another tidbit of information, Karim Benzema scored the first goal to be awarded via goal line technology in the 2014 World Cup against Honduras.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know this or don't remember this, but Zinedine Zidane was technically sent off via replay because the referee and the assistant never actually saw the headbutt. He only sent him off after Gianluigi Buffon implored the referee to watch the big screen that did show the headbutt.
Jesus. Yeah.
So therefore, Zinedine Zidane in his final match was technically the first player to ever be sent off by a referee watching video footage.
Yeah.
That's true. I remember there was a lot of controversy with that. It was like, well, it was the right decision, but technically, I think the referee didn't do the right thing. Technically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just going by what admittedly, I don't remember it quite that vividly. I only remember the headbutt. But
yeah. Welcome back, Ben.
That's when Zidane headbutted Materazzi, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because technically, from what I remember, the on-field decision was the referee didn't really see it and wasn't given a red card, but because of the replays on the big screens, he had no alternative but to basically
Yeah, that's
take
how
that
it happened.
information
Yeah.
in. But technically, that wasn't VAR, you see. So it's quite an interesting.
Yeah,
point.
I don't know how they could do that because that would mean that if you were the home team or any team, you could just broadcast replays of some missed calls and get your
I
way.
could be wrong here, but I actually think that's partly why the Premier League banned. I don't know if it's actually still the case, but I do know there was a time in the Premier League where you weren't allowed to show video footage of the match while it was happening in the stadium because of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was very much if the ref can only call what he sees type thing.
Yeah, no, you have that has to be the way. Even if they show you after the fact, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like having VAR and then they only show you like 5 views of something, and there's a 6th one that doesn't come out, and what you can't go back and say, oh, I missed it. So there you go. You're making bacon, egg, and cheese. Good job. I like that.
Making bacon.
I like that.
Excuse me one sec.
Thanks for rejoining up with us, BX Gunner. We'll see if anybody else joins us. But yeah, they all noticed we just ended. I don't know what happened. It was weird.
Technology.
Technology. So the stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. I don't know what that means. What that means. So, we lost Mr. Tom. What happened there?
No, I think he's just getting something.
Oh, okay. All right. We got a couple more people.
I'm back.
More people are joining us. So, welcome.
Yeah, I'm more ashamed that it took us 10 minutes to realise. Wait a minute, everyone's a bit quiet.
No, I was like looking. I kind of was looking away, doing some stuff over here because I was like, I'm getting hungry, so I wanted to make sure I got some food. Or, I decided what I was gonna have for food or whatever, and then looking up, and all of a sudden, boom! I'm like, zero. Like I get like people drop off towards the end of the show, but it went to 0. And I'm like, but I'm watching it. I have it going on the side there. So why would that happen? But there you go. It was dead. YouTube said it was dead, but the streaming service I'm using here says no.
Computer says no. Computer says no.
So that was the question of the day.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. I'm gonna. This is crazy.
The time actually flew this week.
It did. We had lots of games going on. We talked about lots of stuff that had nothing to do with those games, which is cool. Russ has joined back up with us. So, Russ, welcome back to the show. We don't know what, as I said before, I don't know what happened. It just died on YouTube.
I got a good trivia question. Just a quick one before we go.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
It's Arsenal
beautiful.
as well.
Here we go.
It's Arsenal as well. We're going to like this one. So, the first season, it turned into the Premier League. The first season of the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal played at home and lost 3-0 against which team, and which player for that team scored a hat-trick?
I know the answer. Mickey Quinn scored 3 goals for Coventry.
Yes. So we had a very nice start to the Premier League season. Our first Premier League season was a 3-0 loss at home at Highbury against Coventry, who weren't a great team. And Mickey Quinn, a tall, ugly player with a big nose, scored 3 goals against us.
The only reason I know that is... The only reason I know that you've got the season wrong is because the game you're actually referring to was from 93, 94.
Oh, it was the season after, was it? Okay, fair enough.
The only reason I know that, I'm not saying smart, is because the actual first hat-trick in the Premier League was Eric Cantona for Leeds versus Tottenham.
Right, so it was the season after. So I got my years wrong then, basically, but yeah.
Yeah, but no, you're right. The opening day the opening day of the second season is the Mickey Quinn.
Opening day of the second season, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I just remember I was traumatized. I was absolutely traumatized.
That's
by
crazy.
that because I was really into. I was really fanatic about Arsenal at that time when I was that young. And I was like, oh yeah, start of the season, it's going to be great. Start of the season, all this, looking forward to it. Home, Highbury, Coventry. Oh yeah, we beat Coventry, and we got slapped 3-0 by Mickey Quinn, scored all 3 goals. I was traumatized for like 5 weeks.
Yeah, it just wasn't their day, right?
A year later from that, I went to West Ham versus Leeds on the opening day of the 94-95 season, and I was traumatised by the fact that it was a 0-0 draw. Because, yeah. But then we got West Ham on the opening day again in 95-96, 2 years in a row. But we happened to have Tony Yeboah by that time. So Big Tony was like, you're not getting another 0-0, Tom. I was like, thanks, Tony. He's like, I'm going to score both goals in a 2-1 win. I was like, thanks, Tony. You means a lot to me, brother.
Yeboah was a good striker. He's a bit underrated.
He scored, in about 18 months for Leeds, roughly, of playing, he scored 32 goals. And
he scored some banging goals as well. And the thing it was never really mentioned that the same sort of breath as Cantona and that lot. Unfortunately.
Well, like 30 of his 32 goals would get in goal in a month.
Yeah. Oh, he had some bangers. That volley is the volley we all know about. He scored. That is just. I mean. It's like it shouldn't even be physically possible to do it, but he did it. It's incredible that volley.
And once again, what's the name again? Because I have to now look.
Tony Yeboah.
Okay. Okay. I have
Yeboah.
Yeah, Yeboah.
I have heard that name before, so I've seen fights clips of him.
Incredible.
Taib, welcome back to the show. Sorry about that, people. So glad you were able to come back for us. We're gonna, we're on our descent, as we say. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. For those who, what is it? Tomorrow? Is it? Yeah, tomorrow. Arsenal. I believe they're home to Leeds women. So those who are, since we don't, who is Leeds anyways? You know who Leeds is, Sam? Have you heard of that club before?
I heard about them. There's some kind of amateur team from up north somewhere.
All right. Yeah.
It
hasn't. Leeds hasn't really trickled over here to this part of the world. So.
No.
I'll tell you one of my favourite Tony Yeboah goals that no one ever talks about, even in the Leeds community. Never gets discussed. We played Derby in the FA Cup third round. It was January 7th, 1996. And basically, we went 2-0 down to Derby. And then we came back. We basically scored a third goal in the 90th minute. And it was on Sky. And Sky keeps showing replays of the third goal. And then they come back from the replay just as Tony Yeboah has lifted the ball over the goalkeeper for a fourth goal. And then the commentator's got to be like, oh, wait, Yeboah has scored again. It was beautiful.
Prolific.
Beautiful.
Prolific
If I was
striker.
Derby fan, I'd have been furious. I'd been like, why didn't you show it?
Yeah.
He's got a funny joke. So for those who cannot see the chat, it says, "What did the flowers say after he told the joke?"
Five jokes are just different level.
I was just pulling your leg.
Just pulling your leg.
All right.
God.
Before we go, I got one joke related to Accrington. Okay.
Right. What about Stanley?
Well, Stanley will have to wait for a week. Okay. So there was a man who was going around collecting donations for the Accrington Stanley Brass Band Society. And he goes to this house. He's knocking on doors. He's soliciting donations. And he goes to this house and he opens the gate and he has to go up the hill to get to the house. And he knocks on the door of the house. A little old lady, Mavis, opens the door, comes out. And he basically says to her, oh, would you like to make a donation to the Accrington Stanley Brass Band Society? And she goes, sorry, son, I can't hear you. He goes, would you like to make a donation to the Accrington Stanley Brass Band Society? She's like, I still can't hear you. So he shouts it even louder. Would you like to make a donation? Like, shouts it. And because she goes, I still can't hear you, he goes, oh, fuck this, and just walks off, goes back down the hill, and you hear her shout, close the gate, can you please close the gate? And he says out loud, oh, fuck your gate, you old bag. And she goes, yeah, well, fuck the Accrington Stanley Brass Band Society too.
Got another joke, one from Cheddars here. What do you call a magician without magic?
Ian.
I like that one. That's pretty good. Oh my god. Yeah, good one. Good one. Some guy wants to promote our channel.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's all right. We're doing fine as we are. I don't have any money for you because we make no money. We're doing this because we like to chat about as
he's on Twitch
football, and then Sam and then Mr. Tom will talk about some nonsense, right? So there you go. I didn't even know I pushed this out to Twitch. I think I've been trying to decide which one is either Twitch or it's or Twitter that I push out to. So there you go.
Too many platforms. There's too many of them.
Yeah. Twitch. I tried to use that, but it's I don't have much following there. But I know on Twitter I do. So I should be. I should just remove the Twitch entry so I can just push it out to Twitter because I think people more likely will watch us from there. Thanks for joining us. For those who have. Leeds is through to the 5th round. Who are their next opponents potentially again? Did you?
They've not done the draw yet, so don't know.
Okay. Arsenal has
avoid Liverpool, avoid Man City. I'll be quite pleased.
Cool.
Or Liverpool.
Yeah, Arsenal's decided they don't want to play in the FA Cup. They've won too many. They want other people to try to catch up, I guess. Not
this
really,
has to be like the first year since like 1997 or something like that we've actually outlasted Arsenal in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't. It certainly doesn't.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna just quietly enjoy the moment.
The Gunners are hoping to bring Brighton's midfielder into the Emirates before the January window closes. Oh.
Let's get out of here so Tom can have some more cocaine.
All right, so people, yeah, we are finished up here, so we're gonna say our goodbyes, and we're gonna let, as usual, Mr. Tom start off the proceedings as we head out of here.
Yeah, as usual, thanks for supporting the show on your Saturdays when you should have better things to do, but you still choose to spend the time with us. And on both videos, actually, we didn't know why it cut out. It might have been my smell or something, which is understandable. But no, seriously, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for continuing to support the show. Hope you'll be back next week when obviously there'll be some more exciting Premier League action to discuss. I haven't got the slate in front of me, but should be some good action to discuss and some good stories throughout the week. To quickly answer Russ Morgan's question, Yeboah left Leeds basically because he and George Graham didn't like each other. And partly because George Graham substituted him against Tottenham and he took the shirt off and threw it at him.
There you go.
Don't really condone that, but he is Tony, so.
Yeah, this is the high goodbye time of the show. Yeah.
Stefan,
we don't have better things to do, clearly. Yeah, I think, I mean, we could be doing stuff, but why? Why bother? Sam?
Russ has got some video he has to watch of Graham Poll refereeing.
Oh, excuse
Oh,
me.
is it my turn? Is it? I'm on the big screen. Look at me.
You
Look
are
at
on the
me,
big
Mum.
screen.
Look
It's
at
your
me,
time to
Mum. I'm
say
on TV.
bye to the people.
Bye to the bitches. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to tell the story of little Jimmy. He was walking down a small lane, went through a garden primrose path, smelling all the flowers along the way, and he came across a big bear who walked into the forest with a little white bunny rabbit. And the big bear, deep in the forest, with the little white bunny rabbit, looked down at him and said, "I wonder, does shit stick to your fur?" And the white bunny rabbit says, "No, I don't think so." So the bear said, "Great." Then he picked up the bunny rabbit and used him to wipe his ass. And that is the end of that glorious story. I want to say thank you very much to everyone for joining this evening. I think it's evening. It's just on the cusp of it anyway. I want to say thank you to my co-host Tom, who's been great as always. Always have a good laugh with Tom. Gary's always great as our hostess with the mostess. And we had a good time on this trip that always goes in different directions for good or bad. That's just the way it is. I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat, all the regulars who are there. You know who you are. You're all great. We enjoy having you here, taking part, interacting with us. You make the show what it is. We love interacting with you and having a laugh with you. All your questions and your funny little anecdotes. Great to see. Thank you for taking part every Saturday. And yes, for Arsenal, I think we're going to have a good chance now of carrying on against Everton, and let's hope we bring those 3 points home there and keep the pressure on. And yeah, thank you to everyone again, and I hope everyone has a great Saturday evening.
Cool. And
Sorry,
so
Bandy, who's there? Sorry.
it wasn't even. I was saving that for me.
Oh.
Knock says Benny. Benny, thanks for joining the show. We are finishing up here. We had our show started on time, and for some reason, with like 10 minutes, for about 10-minute period, we didn't realize that the show had stopped. So we're to the wise. Continue to look at your YouTube feed to stream to see if it's still going, I guess, because that's the only reason why I knew it wasn't going. Plus, there was 0 viewers in there. So there you go. But thanks for joining us. We'll do this again. Yes, next week we'll be talking about the matches that are coming up. By the time we are live, Fulham would have played at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal would have played at Goodison Park, and then there's like a slate of games in the middle. Well, we'll be talking about as they go through. So by the time we talk next week, Arsenal hopefully will be up 8 points on the second place City, who plays that team late on Sunday, at least late for you guys. And then hopefully we're all happy about whatever comes out of that. But we are out of here. Thank you for everybody for joining us. We'll do this again. And as I like to say, life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. And we will see you guys on the next one. And we are out.